November is National Adoption Month, a time to help spread the word about adoption issues and the need for more adoptive and foster families.
Well, an important step is understanding what adoption looks like today. In the past, many were closed, meaning adoptive and biological parents never met or even knew each other's names. But today, most are open. And in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, a local birth mom and her daughter's adoptive parents share what open adoption looks like for their family.
This one is my favorite picture of her.
It's easy to see the love pouring out of all of these parents' faces.
Adored and loved by both my families.
An adoration that all started with one shocking revelation.
She was a surprise. I was fairly young still, and I found out because I threw up in my driveway.
Something that would happen many times over the next 6 months.
I didn't gain a single pound during my pregnancy because I threw up so much.
A difficult, unplanned pregnancy that left Danny Jaden with some tough choices.
I knew I wasn't ready to do the mom thing, but I loved her. She was a little bean.
Danny decided adoption was the best way forward.
Emotionally, it was very hard because it was admitting to myself that I wasn't quite the person that she needed me to be. But as far as setting it up, it wasn't that difficult.
While getting set up with an adoption agency was easy, Danny says the next step of choosing an adoptive family was overwhelming.
That was so hard. I mean, trying to decide who's best to raise the baby that I'm creating.
Then a friend of a friend mentioned the name of a Watertown couple who were waiting to adopt.
Tried to have kids on our own, and we tried for about 7 years. Did a lot of discussing, and finally we were like, I think adoption's the right choice for us. From there, we just kind of waited about 2 years.
Finally, Stacy and Casey Reck got the phone call they'd been waiting on. A birth mother chose them.
We met that the first time at a coffee shop with her and her mom. And of course, it was just nerve-wracking because it's your first time meeting, and you want to, you just want to squeeze her and be like, oh my gosh, like, is this really happening? But it just felt right from the very beginning.
While the connection felt great, the decision was still a very hard reality for Danny the rest of her pregnancy.
I would all of a sudden start crying for no reason, and it's because I was thinking about the decision I had made. And I was not unhappy with the decision I had made. It was a hard thing.
Things would get harder for Danny once it was time to meet her baby for the first time.
The hospital was pretty hard. They were there the entire time, and that was great, and I loved that. But then, I just remember the last night being really emotional about it because they were going to come back in the morning and take her, and I was going to be discharged from the hospital, and that was very emotional and hard for me.
Danny says those first few weeks and months after baby Kellen was born brought even more emotions.
It's the things that you're missing, that you're missing, that are difficult, even though, I made the decision. They are her parents, I am not. It was hard knowing that I was going to be missing those. I mean, they were very forthright and been like, look, she took her first steps, or, she did this, this, and this. And I loved that. It's just I wasn't there. So that was a little hard, but as the relationship between all of us grew, that became easier.
Just look at those cheeks.
A pain that got easier every day thanks to the open connection between their families.
Sending me pictures and just giving me little updates on how she was and everything was very helpful.
We kind of just let her lead, and she said she wanted to meet with us every month, and so for the first year we met monthly and really grew that relationship. And from there, they babysit for our kids and they love them both. Just it's just an amazing, they're extension of a family, really. Here's her ice show that you guys got.
Now Danny and her parents are a huge part of the Reck family and love being there for both Kellen and her sister Kennedy, who is also adopted.
Both girls are instantly, oh, hi, Danny, let's go do this, let's go do this. And they crack me up daily.
The girls, they just love, they're always like, let's go to Terry and Dan and Danny's house. And they request to go there, and they absolutely just love them all.
It's the kind of open relationship the Recks couldn't picture before they actually got into the adoption process.
In the beginning, we were kind of like, I don't really know if we can do that open, do the open adoption, because we don't really understand how this is going to work.
But now that they're in it, they wouldn't have it any other way.
It was the best decision we made as far as being open. Like she said, though, too, it's, every situation is going to be a little bit different as far as the birth mom and that type of thing. But for us, after a couple months, it was like, oh yeah, this was the right decision for sure.
Do you think you made the decision that was right?
Yes, absolutely.
A decision to open all of their hearts and create a unique family and a relationship they wouldn't change for the world.
What makes you feel so good about that decision today?
Because of absolutely how happy and safe and well taken care of she is, I know I did 100% what was right. She has a life that she loves, and she's fabulous, and she has the most amazing little sister who is full of sass and wonderfulness and amazing parents that would do anything for her. And so I absolutely know that that was what was right.
What a beautiful family. Danny says one of her biggest fears as a birth mom was choosing an adoptive family who would then decide to cut her out of her daughter's life after the adoption was final. Now, she and the Recks encourage anyone looking to adopt to stay committed to keeping that open connection strong, not only for each other, but especially for the good of the child who gets to grow up knowing and loving every part of their family.
What a great story. And you have your own open adoption that's well documented.
Very much so. And we love it and love his birth family and everyone so much.
Yeah, nice family.
Yeah.
All together.